the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho. Our lies will come tumbling. Deny my place and time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly it will blind you. 'Cause there's something inside so strong, so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough, but we know better. Just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. Something inside so strong. And I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough, when we know better, just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. 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 Because there's something inside so strong.
Some dreams live on in time forever. Those dreams you want with all your heart. And I'll do whatever it takes. Follow through with the promise I made. Put it all on the line. What I hope for at last would be mine. If I could reach higher, just for one moment touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I've tried my very best and put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, some days are meant to be remembered. Those days we rise above the stars. So I'll go the distance this time, seeing more the higher I climb. That the more I believe, all the more that this dream will be mine. If I could reach higher, just for one moment touch the sky. From that one moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Know that I've tried my very best. Put my spirit to the test. If I could
best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could beat the world, you could beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock.
Yeah.
You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the crossfade, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You know the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. And you're never gonna know if you never even try.
Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the crossfade, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls
That's right. You're live on Joy 99.7 FM. Good evening and welcome to Personality Profile this lovely Thursday evening. You know, I look forward to these wonderful conversations, and this evening I have one exhilarating one for you. So sit back, relax, probably get a drink or something and turn up the volume a little bit, because this is a guest you'd want to listen to and tell your friends and family about it. We're on our Facebook page as well. You can actually check out the video and join in our conversation this evening on Personality Profile. Listen, my guest tonight is very wonderful. It's really an honor to have her in the studio. I had to actually go high heavens and hell to get her here, but thank God she's been gracious enough to actually honor our invitation into the studio. She's an amazing woman. Her story is one of determination, perseverance, and resourcefulness. She's had a stellar broadcasting career that spanned decades and broke grounds for many other women to chart. Well, the first Ghanaian woman to become a disc jockey. How does that sound? Well, one of the finest news readers as well to ever belt out through the microphones of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. She started off her career at GBC as an account clerk and worked her way up to become a news editor. She hosted different kinds of shows on air, from entertainment to current affairs and news and a lot more. She's an entrepreneur. She's sat on many boards as well. She's a great seamstress and a baker. I love that part, actually. The veteran, Madame Lucy Banini. We affectionately call her Mama Lou. And she's here today. Hello, Mama Lou.
Hello, Lexus.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm happy to meet you because I listen to you a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
I'm excited to meet you too. I'm really honored, to be honest. And I'm happy that you actually made it here. How have you been?
I've been okay.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying my retirement.
Now you're enjoying your retirement. I was actually going to ask you what keeps you busy, but it looks like maybe the baking will help, huh? What keeps you busy now?
I love building apartments.
You love building apartments? Wow. That's a whole business, not just a hobby.
You may call it so.
Wow.
Yes.
Then you've not retired, Mama Lou.
No, I really haven't retired.
You're still working.
It's a new dimension in life, you know. After retirement, by His grace, if you're healthy, I would say that you're stronger than before.
Yeah.
Because now you take your own decisions.
Right.
And you don't say yes or no more.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
it's
true.
a big challenge, but it's very fulfilling.
So why apartments? Why are you building apartments? Why that particular?
Actually, I love to see people around me.
Okay.
I love to see people because that's how we were brought up.
Okay.
I have 24 siblings.
24. Wow.
So I can't be alone in a place as long as there is a piece of space.
Yeah.
I like to occupy it. And I don't mind about strangers.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yes.
How did you make it out there? 24 siblings.
Yes.
How was it like?
I'm number 7.
You're number 7. Oh dear. How was it like growing up with 24 other, you know?
Well, they didn't all come at a time, you know.
Yeah.
They came at different times. Some are much older than me, so I see them as mother figures or father figures.
Yeah.
And we grew up. I mean, if you attend a boarding school, you don't mind having a lot around you.
That's true.
Yes. So that's just how it was. And apart from my sibling being that much, we had a lot of cousins who loved to be with us. So our house was a big village.
How did your father handle that number? Was he able to, have eyes on everybody?
Now, ask me whether my mother had 24 children.
No, I'm sure she didn't.
So there was a lot of help around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you think your father was able to take care of everybody?
Yeah, we all went to school. We all went to college, some to the universities, and we were great.
He was very well to do.
Not very well to do, but I think he was lucky to have good women
Okay.
as wives.
How many of them?
Just 2.
Just 2?
and then a few around.
I get that. Okay. Wow. I mean, that's quite an interesting upbringing that you had there. But I think that maybe what it does is that it gives you a bigger network. You have a whole, strong sibling network
Yes.
that you're able to fall on and rely on
Yes.
in hard times.
Yes.
Is that the advantage of having a lot of siblings?
Oh, yes. On Sunday, I hosted quite a lot. They
Yeah.
all visit. And even this morning,
Okay.
I've hosted.
Wow.
And I'm happy to be the mama.
Yeah. Mama Lou. Well, there you go. We'll get into your journey into broadcasting, but you actually miss it? Do you miss broadcasting?
Well, I still do broadcasting, Yeah, I teach broadcasting a
You
lot.
teach broadcasting?
Yes. I haven't come to your station, but I'll be listening. If I see a flaw,
You'll
I'll write
come in.
you.
I mean, you don't have to wait to see a flaw. I mean, for a mind like yours would want to tap in. So I think that we
Yeah.
need to arrange. So you come in and share a bit with us.
Yeah.
I see. So you've not exactly left a space. You
No,
still
not
go
at
around
all.
and share a bit
Not
of
at
your
all.
knowledge.
Yes.
Was it a career that you wanted to get into as a young person? Was it a passion?
Well, I didn't know about broadcasting when I was even 17 years old.
I see.
No. All I knew was that I was in a boarding school and I loved getting on stage. I'd take the whole school to that task and sing all the pop songs on the stage on
Getting on
Saturdays.
stage. Oh, entertainment.
Yes.
Ah,
I went to Mauli.
Mauli School. Okay,
I was
okay.
also the entertainment prefect.
You were the entertainment prefect as well. I see. So you'd perform on stage. What songs did you perform? Would you sing or dance?
Oh, I sing.
Ah,
I sing all the those days. Ellen Shapiro, Doris Day,
Yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald, and all that.
wow.
Sometimes I sing Nat King Cole.
Do you?
I do sing Harry
Wow.
Belafonte.
Harry Belafonte. Oh, the banana song. God damn.
The way where the noise again. And the sun shines daily on the mountain top. I took a trip for the sailing boat. And when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to sail on my way.
Won't be back for many a days.
My heart is numb, my head is fading around. I have to live a little girl in Kingston Town.
Oh, beautiful.
I love the beach,
The Jamaican farewell.
Yeah, I love the
Oh.
beach, but I sing a lot of others too.
I see. So from entertainment, you felt that you had a place in the media or what? Tell
I
me.
told you, I didn't know about media.
So then how did you get into it?
I was looking for a job.
Uh-huh.
And my mama had a friend
Right.
who had a friend.
Yeah.
And I got into GBC.
I see. As
After I had
what?
made 2 babies.
After you had made 2 babies.
Yes.
How old were you then?
22.
22. When did you have your first?
19.
19. Let me guess, you were in school.
Now come out.
You had come out. You were a little adventurous.
Yes. I didn't know how it happened, but no regrets.
You know how it happened,
I
Mama
didn't
Lou.
know. No.
Mama Lou, you do know how it happened.
How did it?
No, you do know. Don't ask me, Mama Lou.
Maybe
Wow.
I was just hijacked, you don't know.
Okay, if you say so. I mean,
But I'm happy I did.
Yeah.
Because when I look at them now,
yeah. But at the time, was it a little bit of a burden?
no, it wasn't a burden.
Parents didn't feel a little bothered
Before I
about
had
it.
them, I knew how to trade.
You knew how to trade.
Yes. My mother is a trader,
Mm-hmm.
and she does much of it at home.
Okay.
And I loved hawking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I knew how to keep money before. they
I
came.
see. But it's safe to say these were not planned.
No,
Okay. And you were not married at the time as well.
I was.
You were.
Shotgun wedding.
Ah. Wow. Okay, so now you have 2 babies. 22-year-old, you want to start working, and then you're referred to GBC. And what job did you get there?
I got a job as an accounts clerk.
Okay, so this had nothing to do with broadcasting at the
Nothing
time.
at all. Then there was this auditioning. You know, GBC has a training school,
Right.
and I topped the class.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
So I started reading the news.
Okay.
And I got into disc jockeying because whilst I was reading the news, the DJs like Charlie Sam, James Amati, a few of them, Mike and so, will invite me to do the listener's choice.
Okay.
So I was a news reader.
Yeah.
So when I got bored with it, I just went on to disc jockeying.
To disc jockeying.
Yes.
So that's when you
I enjoyed it.
fell in love with it.
Yes.
And at that time, no lady would dare even go close to this.
There was Harriet Titchmanson,
Okay.
but you can do a lot in the studio. But going out to, show off
Yeah.
was my thing.
Like at events, you get booked to play at events and whatnot.
Yeah.
I see. Because when I read a bit about you and I noticed you were a newscaster, a news reader, and then a DJ as well. I was
Yes.
wondering how you actually,
And radio and television presenter.
Yeah,
I presented a lot of programs on television.
yeah.
Political programs, entertainment programs, women's programs, you name it. And I've hosted a few. Yeah.
I see. How did people react to this female disc jockey who was out and about showing off?
I think they were happy. And I had the pension,
Yeah.
They were happy. There were times when people will advertise for an event, and they'll say the MC is Mama Lou when I'm nowhere near the program.
Wow.
And so I sued about 2 people.
You sued them?
Yes, because they thought it would pull the crowd.
Yeah. Wow.
I did.
Interesting. Now let's talk about newscasting, news reading as well. You rose through the ranks, started reading news. And there was the training at GBC at the time was quite very strict.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it was very top notch, like international standards and whatnot. Take us through a bit of that.
Well, we had this training school whilst the white guys were still around GBC. So we were taken through the rudiments of broadcasting. And then if you have the talent, then you can work around what you have been taught as the basis of broadcasting.
Right.
And come out, as what you really want to be. So that's what happened. And we had a lot of tutors coming from all over the place. We had people from the University of Ghana, the communication studies, and they came. And sometimes we also went to the universities to see. So we were full-fledged broadcasters, and especially they taught us the finesse of the language, the English language.
Okay.
So your pronunciations must be top-notch, and you must have that style to read the news, because news reading or reading can be done by everybody, but you have to get the style to read news. Some of us were dropped, and those days we were called voices. You must have the right voice to do the news.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the right voice?
The right voice was how to have your ebb and flow, not to read like you're in a classroom. Your ebb and flow, your pronunciations. And in news reading, there are a lot of stops that if you're just reading, you wouldn't know. There are double full stops, there are single full stops, there are commas, there are semicolons. And if you understand the language, you know where to put them.
Okay. Wow. Do you still see that standard of news reading now?
I wouldn't sit here and criticize, because broadcasting now has become so robust that many people are involved. So you can compare and contrast, and you find the good ones. And then if you keep sifting, you know what to take out.
I'm asking because people will say that maybe the standards probably might have been dropped, or
it has.
You think the standards have dropped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Most newsreaders are very good. Most of them. I don't want to mention stations. The last time I was at a station, I just told them that you are good enough to pass. You know, you are good enough to pass. But just that you must have your own unique style. And that's when people are even far from the radio or television, they will know it is you.
Yeah.
They will know it is you because of the way you read.
Yeah.
But I see a few people who are lacking full stops and those commas and double full stops. You read a story, and when the story has ended, you must know that it has ended. That's why you have the double full stop.
Right.
You don't rush another sentence into that story.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't make it very wholesome.
Okay.
But this is not the classroom, is it?
Well, actually, my team in the newsroom were taking notes, so I'd have loved for you to
Invite me. The last time I don't want to mention names, but I was on one of the stations. They had a man from the BBC.
Okay.
And, he came to me and I agreed to do 2 weeks with them.
That's beautiful.
And,
I know.
and
Back in the day, GBC were just pegging around the BBC standards.
Yes.
Right. It was BBC standard or nothing.
Well, yes. That's why some of us were dropped, especially on television news. You don't display clothes. You display the ability to read.
Right.
Yes. To contact. I mean, for people to accept what you're reading. Recently, somebody wrote something about me. I was shocked. Yeah, it was one of the high-class journalists. I don't want to mention his name.
Okay.
He described all of us how we read.
Okay.
And I'll give mine to you, what he said. I haven't understood it, so you'll explain to me.
Oh, I see. Do you have it written down somewhere?
I've been asking people to make me understand it.
Okay, let me see that. Okay, that's Lucy Banini.
Yes.
Lucy Banini was gifted. The news looked as though they were brewed in her buccal cavity. The items billowed with grace and grandeur as to reveal the gem that she was. My goodness.
And then when you read the others, you describe them nicely.
Yeah.
That they had good voice, their pronunciations are good.
Yeah.
And they didn't say anything about me. What do you make of that?
Come on, Mama Lou. What else do you want to hear?
You said I have a sweet voice.
Oh, look, he or she said the news looked as though they were brewed in your buccal cavity. It's like,
Now, I'll take this opportunity to explain that one. The news was read as if it was brewed in your buccal cavity.
Yeah.
The last time I had an invitation or an interview on one of the stations, I was posed the question, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Because when you read, it's like I get goose pimples. And 99% of people tell me that. And I even goofed. I said, me too, I get goose pimples. I didn't even understand myself. But I know that one.
Yeah.
So he asked me how. And I said to him that when I have a bulletin, I quickly transport myself onto the scene.
Okay.
So it's like I'm seeing it happen. So I have this rise and fall and very candid description of the items.
Okay.
Maybe that's why you think it's written in my... But sometimes when you detach yourself from the bulletin, it shows.
Right.
It shows.
I
you must
get that.
live the bulletin. You must live as if you were there.
Yeah.
That is why sometimes when you hear reporters read, they are clearer than the newsreader.
Okay. Because they are
everything comes
in the
out.
action.
Yes.
Right.
Where the action is.
Yeah. So that's what the newsreader needs to employ as
yes.
well. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
To get onto the field.
Yeah.
You see, I would not say the art of imagination, but imagination is a great asset. That if you use it, you do well.
You do well. So the strictness at GBC at the time, it was even affected dressing.
Well, of course, when you're doing television news, those days, I would say, maybe just me, I don't know. It's my top that I like to have it look beautiful.
Okay.
But my concern is the bulletin.
Right. No,
So
actually,
that those days that they didn't even have the, I don't know what they call it technically now, the roll, and you read from the screen. We read
The
from
prompter.
Yes, the prompter.
the teleprompter.
We didn't have it. So you have to look into the camera. And that one too was described in a certain way.
yeah.
I read history, I read Latin, and I read literature. So I love history. So when my history teacher comes and he starts writing on the blackboard, I'll start reading it. And much is committed into my memory. So when he has finished and I start writing, I will lift my head again
Wow.
to look at it. You see?
Yeah.
So the prompter was like, I'll look into your face and tell you the headlines.
Okay.
I'll look into your face and tell you the
Yes, sir.
headlines.
Really, where I was going with that question about the strictness at GBC was the fact that I actually learned that you met Jimmy Cliff. You met Jimmy Cliff one time, and you couldn't interview him because of his dreadlocks.
Oh, yes.
It was so bad that you couldn't enter GBC with dreadlocks.
I knew it, so I didn't even promise him.
But those were the rules at GBC.
Yes, you wouldn't. Yeah.
Wow.
But now it's all over the place and it is okay.
How do you feel about that? I mean, things are a lot liberal now. You don't necessarily need a certain dress code to...
It's not just... the world is growing by itself. It's a world that dictates the pace at which we must go.
Right.
Yeah, those days it wasn't acceptable. Now it is acceptable.
Yeah.
What we were worried about then was, okay, you will read a Rastafarian wrongly
Okay.
and say a lot of things about the Rastafarian. But now we know
Okay.
that there are different types of Rastafarians.
Okay.
And there are people without dreadlocks that are more or worse than what you thought Rastafarian would
Okay.
do.
So back then it was more stereotyping them.
Yes.
But now we've gotten to understand what it is. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your very active years at GBC were the late 70s and the early 80s, if I'm right. Right? Okay. And those were the years where politically the country was very, very hot and heated. So, I mean, there was military rule, there were coups here and there. Did you experience any of these? And how did you handle it, especially because you are GBC and, I don't know, was somewhat controlled by the government? How
Was
was
the government's
mouthpiece?
Mouthpiece.
Right.
Yes. How do we handle them?
Yeah.
Any coup didn't affect us much. You just have to let go. So you let go. I have not been on duty there and then when they come, but I've seen all the coups. What really we would say is that it was new to us and we didn't know how to handle it. But those who will be on duty at that certain time that the thing happens, nobody touches them.
Oh, okay.
No. Nobody touches them. But there have been bad situations, if I'll tell you a few.
No, I'd love to know.
Yes. For example, take if there is curfew
Mm-hmm.
and you're on duty in the night,
You're supposed to read the news or something of the
Yes.
sort.
there was a time when I had to drive 80 miles. I live all the way 80 miles away from Accra. I lived in Tema with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it happens. And then one day, after midnight, I got stuck with my sports car between the Sakumano River and the big ocean, standing there alone, cool times, just to get home.
Wow.
Then there were times that I remember a scene with me and Anand Fossen.
Tommy and Fossen.
Yes, he was going to drop me because they took my car. They said some politician bought it for me. I said, no, I bought it myself. And they wouldn't let me have it immediately. So Tommy was dropping me. And it was curfew time. We saw the armored car.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? A peace corps?
Yeah, the Peace Corps.
With a blue light straight into her face. We were so scared we stopped in the middle of the road. So they got closer and they asked us, so here we are from work. So they escorted us to where he was going to drop me.
Wow.
And then, yes. But there have been scenes. Jiwas, for example, we slept in the studio.
Oh.
Me and Yawa somewhere. We spent the time. Our minister was there.
During the
our Director
attempted
General.
coup.
Jiwa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lance Corporal Jiwa.
Mm-hmm.
That's in 1983.
And then the 31st one, I did the television
31st
news.
December.
Yes.
1981.
Yes. I did the television news with them so close, I was shaking. With
You
them
had-
so close.
They were in the studio.
Not inside, but they were so close.
They were, okay. Right.
They were so close. I wouldn't say in the studio because
Yeah.
somebody might take me on,
Yes.
but they were too close
Yes.
for comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Must have been tough those
Yes.
days.
And there were times that those days I've been listening to the different radio stations, and I think everybody is keeping it right. For example, if it is 6 o'clock, everybody gives the news.
Yeah.
In our time, it was so.
Yeah.
One day I had to travel in my 90 to do the 6 o'clock news.
Are you serious?
Got
In your
up
90s?
too late, yes. Because if you didn't read it at 6, the whole country would be quiet.
Yeah.
And then they will think something has happened. We were trained to know that you have to be on time. So that was it. The other time, I knocked a crazy man in Teshin. The whole of Teshin was sleeping. And he just fell on my bonnet. I just put him at the police station and ran off because I didn't want to be late.
Wow.
There have been scenes like
I
that.
can imagine.
You know, and that was it.
If you're just joining us, this is Personality Profile on Joy 99.7 FM, and this evening I'm spending time with Madame Lucy Banini, a veteran broadcaster and first woman disc jockey. We affectionately call her Mama Lou. Yes, and she's retired now, enjoying her apartments job.
My friends in the house.
Yes, with your friends in the house and all, but that's quite an interesting. What were the challenges of being a broadcaster during those times, and of course a female broadcaster as well?
Well, I didn't have any challenge. I was just following my passion and displaying my talent, and so most of it maybe would be from your colleagues
Okay.
who have not attained the so-called popularity, trying to pull you down.
Okay,
That was a big challenge,
Yeah.
but you have to sail through.
And at GBC there was a lot of politics in court. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, there has always been politics everywhere. Human nature is 90% politics. Even when we are 10 children, like we were 24, we all played politics with our parents.
Right.
Yes. So I wouldn't dwell much on that one. But you can escape all this if you know your job well. And that is
Right.
what saved me.
Wow. At what point did you exit the broadcasting fraternity?
When I got to 60, But I took 5 years off. I traveled. After the coups, I was just I gave up. Even when I took my visa, I had an offer to BBC. I said, I won't do broadcasting again. I won't buy so many clothes into my wardrobe. I was selling clothes every year because of TV programs. And I was scared with these schools. And I was given a flat very close to GBC. Yeah. So anytime something happens and there's nobody, I have to go to work.
And you said you were scared.
I was scared because what I experienced, especially the 31st December one, really scared me.
The rolling school.
It scared me a bit. Nobody touched me though, but I was scared of it. So too much. And so when I got to England, I lived in England for years, and I came back on a certain Tuesday, and that same week on Thursday I was on air.
Wow. What brought you back?
I think I missed home. My daughter was going to get married.
Okay.
And my daddy was growing old.
Okay.
I then lost my mother. So even when I lost my mother, I was not very happy. So it added to my desire to get away for some time.
So you came back and went straight back into broadcasting.
Tuesday, Thursday, I was on air.
But luckily, at the time you came back, it wasn't military rule.
No.
It was
wasn't.
now a democratic dispensation.
Yes.
Things had changed a little bit.
Yes.
I see.
I was so happy to come in. When I was in England, I did a little job for my country, Used to go to the embassy, what's happening in the prisons, our people in prisons and so on. So one time I was at the embassy and I saw the results of the election. The very first one. So I said, why didn't people vote? Because I know our population.
Yeah.
We had gone above, I think we were getting to 11 then. So I don't know what's happening. So I got into thinking about politics. So when I came, and my estate where we were born and bred, South La, we call it Los Angeles, South La Estates.
Yeah.
And there were all these big guys there. It was one of the very first executive estates that were built.
Okay.
So they were all there. Chrissy Butches, the Rawlingses, the Offoris, the Haymans, we were all there.
So you decided
And
to get into politics?
I decided to go to the assembly. I'm a social worker and a philanthropist. I just look after people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the assembly and I said, no, our roads, it was because of the roads I went.
Okay.
So I saw to you that we had our roads.
You did?
Oh, yes, we did all our roads. I knocked doors and the doors opened.
Because of your influence in broadcasting, maybe?
Maybe. I had a lot of funds and people were even happy to see me in their office.
Okay.
So they all helped. And the roads were done after 50 years. So when I met His Excellency, Mr. Rawlings, I said, you didn't do our roads, but now it's done. So we are inviting you to come and say hello to us. He came and he inaugurated our watchdog committee.
Wow.
And so on and so forth.
But was the plan to actually rise higher in politics?
No.
Other than just a local level?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I like local governance. I love local governance. Because when I lived in England, I saw the local governance at work. It's the basis of whatever politics here. And so if there are no hinges to hold us up there, we will have problems.
Right.
And it's the local government. And I'm glad I'll tell you today, Lexus, if you want to help your community, you surely get to the assembly. You can do something for them.
Right. Right.
I think that's where we should see to it that my friends call me local government.
Yeah.
I did a lot of courses in local governments. Local government. I went to Gimpa. They organized a lot of programs for those who can. The assemblies are full of high class people, they just don't talk, especially those who were appointed.
Yeah.
The elected ones, you may say, are low, but some of them are, Indum even went to assembly. We all went to assembly. I didn't want to do politics because I'm just a social worker. The intrigues of politics doesn't please me.
It doesn't please you.
The intrigues doesn't please me.
And I'm sure now it's even worse when you look at our political system now.
Yes.
Right?
The intrigues don't.
What bothers you the most about our political setup?
It is our lack of concern for the assemblies. I don't like the system, the way it is now. The district chief executives don't have much to do. Yeah. But they can have much to do if they are not on a string to be told what to do.
Right.
Yeah. And to tell you today, I chaired the board of Laboni for 13 good years. I had to go to the minister and said, it's enough, please, let someone else come. Yes. And you'll see that if it is the assemblies that look after the schools, that look after the markets, that look after the roads, the urban roads and all these things, where are they now? Now you see they're crying. They build the schools, they control the schools, and they have problems in the schools. So there's so much to be done at the local level.
At a local level.
And that is what will make the people happy.
Yeah.
In fact, it will stop half of the, the people who go on demonstration and...
The protests. And
it will stop half of it.
Yeah.
If the assemblies start working.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you have lived. Now you're retired. You're doing what you love, like you say. Would you say you're fulfilled?
Yes, I am. Because...
that took a bit long.
No, it didn't take long. All my life, when I became aware of life itself, has been to lift others to a certain standard. In fact, that feeling was what sent me to the assembly.
Okay.
So I set up a charity, which is called Luban Outreach.
Okay.
Mine is a charity. It's not an NGO. So that I bled myself to give to others. I never collected a penny at the allowance as an allowance. I always put it in looking after other people. And it is so fulfilling. And I spent a little to lift the image of certain class of women who cannot attain what they want to attain in life. Like a little loan just to start a little business.
Yeah.
Which I did from my own, because I really didn't need that money, because I was still working, and I'm a businesswoman. I do a lot. In GBC, they call me Alatamami. I love trading.
Okay.
I sell everything in GBC.
Wow.
Anything I'll sell.
I see.
That's how my mom trained me. Buy and sell.
Yeah. What's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret, I won't lie to you, but I have none. I have none. I accept what has come to me in life. I'm a mother of 5.
Oh.
Second graduates. I'm a grandmother of 13.
Wow.
Yes.
What's the biggest lesson life has taught you?
The biggest lesson is that when you love people, when you love yourself, try loving others. And it's so nice. Even when they hurt you, you think they are just misbehaving. It's good to love. I love loving.
I love loving.
And I'm so naive. Until I'm beaten, I wouldn't know what I'm into.
I see. There's so many young people who look up to you. I mean, even in broadcasting, you've trained a lot of young people as well. But generally, if you had to advise young women specifically, what would you tell them?
Well, if I have to advise young women, I'll tell them that money doesn't come from above. Money comes from within. And that it's not necessary to rely on others, because you can make it without relying on others. You just have to be intuitive and listen to your inner voice. As long as you are healthy, you can make it. As long as you're healthy, you can make it. I wish one day young women won't just demand, but they will give out more than they demand. I love that.
Say that again. You wish one day young women would not demand, but rather they would give out more.
Yes. Because I've given half of my fortune to others. Young people, I've done operations. I've sent about 100 children to school. My field is, those days when you didn't have the free education, for example, we had it free though. In Muhammad's time, we had something like that. You don't pay as much as you pay in a private school or anything. And it was nice looking after them, because now they have grown. Some are bankers, some are doctors, and they just wave, call me Mama Lou.
Yeah.
I go to the bank, and if that is my bank and he's there, he's all over me. But I make sure I don't ask him to borrow me.
Yeah.
No, I make sure. So I've done operations, I've set people up in their businesses, and I just enjoy doing that. But I've had spiritual experiences. That is why I enjoy it. It is very true. I have experienced it, that cast the bread upon the waters. It comes.
Okay.
It truly comes.
Towabodo Gunsuneni Nadachibi Wonsabeka. I've totally enjoyed spending time with you, Mama Lou. This has been a great conversation. Mabel Akubanase just sends me a letter. She's so eloquent and intelligent, you know. And there's a guy who says, "Is what Ghana GBC bluffo and England mixed." Gary, yeah, I know the English is just
I had a director general. I wouldn't mention his name. And when I retired at 60, then one department said, "Mama Lou, we won't let you go with all this." So they set up the senior citizens on first, is it July?
Yeah.
Senior Citizens Day.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So we all go there, all the old broadcasters.
Okay.
So one day we were there. And then a gentleman came. He said, "Oh, this is this." I said, "Oh, nice meeting you. This is this. Nice meeting you." He said, "This is Lucy Banini." Said, "Mama Lou." He told me how he ran to the radio when I'm presenting Radio Dance Time with my producer Carla Jiman Barneman.
Yeah.
He ran with his towel. I said, "Oh, so you come to be director general."
Yeah.
And quickly I went to him. I said, "I want a job for my son who has just come from England. He did marketing."
Mama Lou, it's so nice listening to you, and we certainly would arrange to have you in here, because we need to, get a bit more of your knowledge and then get to be imparted by you. I'm grateful that you made it today. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here.
And God bless you so much as well. Yeah?
I love your song. Getting you closer to heaven. You know, Joy has one
Oh,
of these.
yes.
Getting you closer to
yeah,
heaven.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I hope you get to heaven soon.
Amen.
Because there are so many stations now.